we are live. Hello, hello, my lovely souls, family, sisters, and brothers. I'm just waiting for my lovely sister, Ewa. Hey,
Mm, Coming on
to
now.
join our live in Instagram. But we are already live on YouTube. Say hello, my sister.
Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good. I'm good. I want to invite you on the Instagram, but if you send me the invitation, that'll be great
Yeah,
as
I just
well.
I did press request.
Yay! We'll
Mm.
send a request and view and go live with. Yay! Mirth Son is our new channel for our lovely sister Ava, and my new channel is Lion Bright Z. But we're gonna talk about that later. Welcome to Guided 888. My name is Zoila Garman.
And I'm Eva Lotkowska.
Yeah, and this is our weekly Saturday Live.
Where we answer your questions and dive deep into our spiritual practice. Woo!
That's a good intro. So, Ava,
Yes.
what we want to be talking about today?
We will be talking about energy, frequencies, and vibrations, and how we can move from low vibrations to high vibrations, and how we can move energy, anytime we wish.
Awesome. And this is just achievable by understanding that we all have the choice to shift from one frequency to another. Now, I'm just gonna say this. We have such an amazing day today. We have such an amazing uh, project topics for today. So please stay with us till the end. But first of all, let's say our disclaimer. And I'm gonna start by saying we are not a religious movement. If we happen to say something that might disagree with whatever you believe, please understand that this is our understanding of the life, of life and life matters, and that we are not here to offend you. If it happens that we offend you somehow by saying something that may disagree with you, please forgive us, because that's not our intention. Our intention is to guide and be guided. In those terms, Ava, if you want to add something else, that'll be great.
Well, if it resonates, basically it resonates. We encourage people to keep an open mind and to make come to their own conclusions. And just stay open-minded, see if this resonates. Maybe this might help you, this might not help you. But yeah, we are here to encourage and to pass on the knowledge that we received during our meditation practices.
Yeah, that's exactly. If it resonates, it resonates. Like you couldn't say it better in any other better way. Like if it resonates, Eva,
It
it
resonates.
resonates. We can't say anything. But we are really excited to share with you today's fun finding. Like we are really excited to share with you what we've been receiving on this week about shifting frequencies or shifting, you know, mind of state of minds. And we were discussing earlier these different frequencies and how to describe it in a physical way. I think, Eva, you said something really nice. Would you share it with us, please?
Yeah, so you mean the how we can describe the frequencies, vibrations, and energy on a physical thing.
Yeah.
So kind of what I want to say is that there's different ways of how we, or me and Zoila at least, how we interpret or how we use the terms vibrations, frequencies, and energy.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we use them quite similarly. They're very similar words, but we come from different aspects and kind of in different contexts or So for example, when we talk about frequencies, we're kind of, at least for me, I have this image of, being in a physics class and measuring the frequencies of different things. So like different objects have different frequencies. So I remember in physics class when I was living in Germany, we would measure like the frequency that radiates kind of from stones, and we would have this like machine or like this kind of device where we would measure it, and it would come up with numbers of how much, like what the level of frequency is. So that's in a kind of scientific, kind of physical, I guess, way. Then with vibrations, I think it's something that's used quite often in day-to-day life. I think a lot of people, it's quite trendy to say I'm in good vibes, I'm in bad vibes, I'm feeling like this is the vibe I'm going for with this mood board. So I think vibes come a lot with emotions about how we feel. So when we say we're in good vibe, we're like happy. And if we're saying, oh, I'm in low vibe, it's like I'm not feeling so great. So I think vibrations is a term that we use on a casual day-to-day life to kind of express ourselves, while frequencies is like a scientific of the wavelength of this frequency. And then there's energy, and I was explaining like it's very similar to vibrations and frequencies. I think in terms of how I use energy is it's something that is passed on. So it's something that comes out of me, or it could be something that comes out of that rock, but I'm not measuring it. I'm just saying that it's that I'm feeling the energy from it. So like there's this exercise where you can put your hands together, or you can do it with a partner. If you put your hands together very close, after a few seconds or a minute, you will actually feel this energy like push and pull. So when I talk about energy, it feels like a magnet. So if there's plus minus, it will stick. If it's plus plus, it will push away from each other. So that's how I kind of imagine energy being like something you also feel, but also can see if you take two objects. So again, frequency is measurable. Vibration is more the feeling of like expressing yourself, and energy is something that you feel. Like the wind on your skin, you can say I feel the energy. So that's how I interpret it.
No, and that is an excellent immediate description of what frequencies, and actually the same description that we were looking for, because I was even saying to Ava, we're not gonna get deep into science, into biology, or into like physics here. However, I think it's really important to describe that we are bound by all of these rules and things that's been discovered, and it is very important that we back up what we're gonna say, what we're gonna share with you, as with the background that you can see that it's not us creating or all these little things, but it is something that has been discussed previously, and that is backing up what frequency and what oscillation and vibration is. Right, when we talk about low vibration and higher vibration, we're just talking about brain frequencies and beats that can be measured, right? So on the YouTube channel, I'm gonna share with you something quickly, because I'm not gonna abound too much on this, but I want to share with you some images that will describe a bit better what we refer to when we say frequency and when we say vibration, right? So if we all understand, on the YouTube channel I have now a an image that is basically the measurement of the human brain waves, right? We all know that there is gamma, beta, alpha, theta, and delta brain waves. Now, being delta, the lower vibration, and the gamma, the higher vibration, that is all that we wanted to share with you. As in, here we have a very good example as to how to measure brain waves. Being said that the gamma waves are the quickest, the highest, the more constant, and the ones that has less length between wave and the next wave, right? Now, when we talk about lowest, we're talking about the longest wave, the one that has
Mm.
the less length in between a wave, okay?
So the less
But
peaks.
yeah, the legs peaks. Basically, that is the delta brainwave. But
I was
this,
just something I think, because you know when you're in hospital they sometimes measure like your heart beating as well.
yeah,
So if it's a straight line, it means you're dead, because like the vibrations or the frequency is very low. So it's just a straight line. But if you're alive or you just did some sport, it peaks. It goes up and down really high. So
yeah,
that's what we're talking about. This image of
yeah,
the
basically,
frequency measured.
yeah, basically that is exactly what we're talking about. Like, but in this case, you're talking
Mm.
about the heartbeats,
Mm,
not the
yeah.
brain waves. But the brain waves as well can be measured the same way the
Mhm.
heartbeats are measured, because the brain have these beats are not like the heartbeats, but
Mm.
these waves is what we call is the equivalent as the heartbeats. Now I want to show you something else, because I have another image here where we are talking about the when we are talking about the habits actually, and we are talking about as well the sorry, I'm trying to talk and
Yeah,
no
so in
sense of
general, if you have
images.
low vibrations or you're feeling low,
Yeah.
would you say that the brain is then, you know, beating slower, so it's more of a constant?
Um, yes, basically it is slower and it
Mhm.
is less constant. Basically, that is all in a nutshell.
That's why on the image we have gamma, right? And it's really quick. So that's where
Yeah,
we can focus when our brain is really focused.
yeah,
It's like in the zone. That's why it's yeah,
yeah.
peaking.
When we have gamma ray, it should be there should be a coherence between your brain waves and your habits. But that's
Mm.
another completely another different
Uh,
topic. And now in this image that I am sharing now, which is the second image I sent you, Ava, which is
mhm.
the heartbeats, the breath, the cardio scale, gastrointestinal tract, stomach, brainwave, and the body temperature, they all have a way of measurement or a way to measure their frequencies. As in, open your eyes, everybody. We haven't been told that the stomach, our belly, has a frequency. But the reality is, we do have a frequency in our stomach, in our body temperature, and our brain wave, our gastrointestinal intestines, on our breath or breathing, and our heartbeat. Like, man, we are a machine of frequencies. And here is the beauty. Like, for all of these frequencies to get into agreement, that there is a very simple steps, there are very simple steps that we should just go through, and that will help us to achieve a balanced state of mind or peace or love, or these higher frequencies that we call higher because um, of the pattern of the waves. But without getting into science, too much into science, we call it higher because they bring balance to our own self, isn't it? They bring balance to our life, and that's what we call a higher. Instead, on the other side, we call lower, and I'm gonna share this picture, this image with you as well. We call it lower because some of the patterns of the feelings fall onto a lower frequency through measuring the length of the wave. Now on the YouTube, if you're listening this through IG and you want to see the pictures that I am talking about, there is a live on our YouTube. You just go to our channel Guided 888 and you will see what we're talking about. But the frequency chart or the emotional frequency chart is divided into two: enlightened feelings and neutrality or boredom or down feelings. Okay.
Mm.
And on the very lowest feeling, we have fear, despair, and shame. Because when you feel the lowest
Mm.
of yourself, when you feel down, we even say that I'm feeling down today.
Yeah, I'm literally just the way you said, oh, I have fear, like fear and feeling down. I suddenly, like, I just caught myself like looking down and feeling it.
Yeah.
Like this is it, how words are so powerful as well, because words themselves carry a frequency.
Yeah.
And so if you are saying positive words and like positive affirmations,
Yeah.
you uplift yourself. But if you're saying, like, if you're reminding yourself and sitting in that shame, in that fear, in that, guilt, anger, you kind of, if you use words like I hate, it just carries so much tension in it. And that's how we can stay in low vibrations, by repeating and agreeing. By saying things like that, we agree to it.
Yeah.
And so when we agree to it, we keep ourselves in that state. It's because when we say words, our whole body, in a way, because words have vibration, it carries through the whole body, and it becomes that. It kind of taking on board what we said last week. Exactly. About thoughts. Yeah. Thoughts creating feelings, and feelings creating action. So if you're using words that are low vibration, and really identifying with them, then you will create those low vibrations, and you will feel that in your body. So just as Zoila just said, fear, despair are the lowest of the, of the chart here that we're showing. I caught myself looking down, and like it was a feeling in my chest, and it kind of like just slightly like sagged, like like something just fell to the ground. Like if you have a tank of water and you put in a small rock, so it's not going to go full on like bam down. Definitely. But I just felt like sinking, just like a slight sinking. And this is the beauty of awareness, and that's why feelings are so great, because they are a signal to show you, this is how I'm feeling, so you can check in with yourself. And that's how I just realized, oh, I'm feeling the sinking feeling. It's like, oh, because Zoila just said this and this, and I took that on board.
And that's the beauty of it. And thank you that you mention it, because obviously this is created, feeling has been created to manage human status of life. So something is telling you something is not going well, or something is telling you this is really awesome. Like, that's how we as human will understand that something is either need to be fixed and shifted, or something needs to be embraced and developed. Like, for example, when you feel sad, you're gonna go down and you're not feeling on your waters, as we call it, and you're not feeling well. Well, that's your brain. That's a mechanism, a human mechanism that's been created to tell you, well, this might not be that well, and this wasn't what you expected. What can we do? Let's shift it. Let's swap it. Let's change it. So, but the thing is that we haven't been told these things. We haven't learned this on internet, or not even internet, like, or schools, or with your friends. We just live a life expecting the next second or what is gonna happen on the next hour, but we haven't been told that something may happen that you don't expect, that you don't like, that you might disagree, but nobody tells you how to get out of it. And that's why we are here, and that's why we are going to share with you all our findings, because really this is extremely important to understand. It's just something that we should have been told at school on how to manage our emotions, because it's something that is vital for us humans to understand the magnificence of our power, our choices, a power of mind and heart together. Like, man, that's why we are here. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, did you ever have a subject called psychology at school? Because I didn't.
I did actually. I did, and I
You
was
did,
really
yeah.
good
So
on
what
that.
did you talk about in?
You talk about all the human behavior, how
Mhm.
these affect the society, and how things, even physical activities, could show the status of the human mind. Basically, psychology is the study of
Of the mind.
the mind, the human mind,
Yeah.
of the human cycle, the human psycho
Hmm.
ability, not psyche, but psycho.
Yeah.
Uh,
So were you taught like things like this though?
oh yeah,
Hmm.
many things. Like I did study that at school. I was really good
Hmm.
at this type of studies, and was biology, physics, and all the stuff. But I guess that the best thing is that you learn with the time, because you experience the same thing that you were explained on that type of topic, but they never show you, like they explain you the theory. I don't know, maybe some of you will disagree, but I'm completely sure that 80% of you will agree with what I say now. Like, they show you the theory, the theoretical part of psychology. However, nobody tells you, at least nobody told me, that I have the choice through meditations and correct mind setting, that I could swap or shift
Mm.
my mind status or my state of mind with meditations, with things that I can put on practice on my physical reality. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I think yeah, it's kind of like you have a subject and you
Yeah,
can you know, someone tells you what like how the mind works, or you can watch YouTube videos and how the mind works.
yeah,
But it's like how mm, how do you people don't apply it. It's like reading up on something and
yeah.
reading books about it and
Mm-hmm.
being like, oh, okay, so if you there's an exercise, if I look in the mirror and tell myself this and this, I'll feel much better. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, cool. But then what's the percentage of the people that actually be like, oh, I'm gonna try this out on myself,
Mm.
you know, to
Yeah.
act that's the so you can have a subject, you can have 20 people in a room
Yeah.
studying psychology, but how many of these like let's say children in their teenager years, and they're in year 5, let's
Yeah.
say, how
Yeah.
many of those 20 10 year olds are going to actually apply to their daily life? Like, I guess there'll be tests, right? And there's exams, and you but it's all very theoretical. It's we want to bring it, we
To
with
a
our
practical
knowledge we
level.
want to bring it to a very practical sense where we can actually, you know, take action on it and actually change our lives and not just, you know,
Exactly. No, no, I
talk about it.
completely
Yeah.
understand what you mean, and this is completely true. As in, man, we need more practice on this. We need more practice to
Mm.
let people
So
know what's happening, what's going on, and this is it. That's the actual reality, really.
like you didn't have meditation, for example, right? It was just theory.
Meditation. What you talking about?
Yeah, so like in class you would have a
No,
lot of theory,
no,
but you
yeah,
wouldn't actually be sitting down and like observing your thoughts.
definitely. No, you wouldn't be sitting down and observing your thought. And think about it. At school, they don't even tell you that thoughts or your mind thinking is a big deal either. When
Mm,
everything depends on a thought. How funny
mm,
is that? Like nobody tell you, nobody go and tell you, look, your mindset is quite important. Please bear in mind that everything you do is completely based on your thinking. Because if we part from that point from school, if we part from that point, man, this humanity will be completely different. Because now we think that what is not important, because that's the first thing. Oh no, that's your thought, that's your mind playing games. Sometimes it's your mind playing games, but
mm.
99% of your thinking are basically what you experience. It starts on the thought. conscious or unconscious, it starts in your mind, and then it moves to a more realistic level where you depending on whether, like we spoke on the last episode, whether you allow it to cross towards your heart, and then it became a thing. Like whatever crosses from your mind to your heart, it becomes a thing. Positive or negative, you label it if you want to say it. We're not labeling anything. But whatever crosses to your mind and you allow it, you accept it, it becomes a thing if crosses to your heart, and then you become like a bit coherent, or either worried, or either happy, or whatever all those frequency feelings that we were discussing previously. So if we start by that, by changing that in the school, like our kids, this society, ourselves, will be a completely different person, more inclined to and more careful with what we allowed in our mind thinking. And yeah, that's all about it. Brain frequencies, heart coherence, beats per minute, stomach being as well vibrating.
Yeah, so it's a lot of information. I think for like what's the like the baseline is that, you know, our thoughts create the reality that we want. So I know it seems like a lot of information that we're showing you guys with frequencies, with the whole like measuring of it. That's not that important. The important is what we said, I think, in our last live, is, you know, realizing what is it that we're thinking and how does it make us feel.
Exactly. Having clear mindset, having a clear idea of what you want to achieve with what you're thinking will help you to achieve what you're thinking in a better manner too. And that's everything, actually. That's all about it. Like meditations, affirmations, if you're sad, if you're happy, if you're planning on creating a business, if you're planning on doing something extra in your career, changing career, everything starts with a thought. And everything, you want it or not, everything can be measured. And it depends on your habits and your brain waves. And when there is a coherence between the habits and the brain waves, here is where we materialize or manifest things in our reality.
Yeah, so we're basically manifesting 24/7 if we're aware of it or not. I was telling that to a friend, because like some people, manifestation is like this airy fairy topic, and he was like, oh, I don't want to like, because I was encouraging my friend to like say what their goals are and things like that, and and they're like, oh yeah, I don't do this whole manifestation thing, and I'm like, but did you realize that you're actually manifesting 24/7? And then they were like, oh no. And I'm like, well, it's actually happening because it's subconscious. Like it's all your behaviors and everything. It's just like, I don't know, it frustrated me slightly because I'm like, we're on the same page, but we're not on the same page. But that's something, that's just the awareness I have. It's like, oh, okay, so this is frustrating. Why is this frustrating me? Is it because I want to be right? Or is it because I'm trying to help and I feel unworthy if I'm not being accepted, and then these are all things that you can then explore in your body, because I think that's why we say, okay, we make it sound so easy. It all starts with a thought, but I think a lot of people still will tell us that it's difficult. And I have so many people do that because I'm, like even the other day I posted something positive on social media and I said, oh, we always have a choice. And then, there's always someone who will come back and say, oh, but it's not because with your surroundings, because of the people you live with, or it's because of some internal, thing going on in you've got a disease or something like that. And then it's like, oh no, I don't have a choice. And then I felt really like upset about that because my intention was obviously to encourage. And so I had to look deep, like why did this affect me so much? And it's because of that kind of fear of being wrong or fear of being misunderstood,
Yeah.
or fear of, you know, being rejected. So
Yeah.
all those things are like valid, and I'm like, oh wow. So like, but I know that the person either, you know, cares about this topic a lot, or has some kind of context, some kind of story about this topic. So I'm like, oh, okay, so what can I control? And that's my thoughts. So when I realized that, okay, that's his story, but then I realized what's going on in my brain, then I was thinking, okay, so I understand that I was feeling that fear of rejection, that fear of not being, you know, like being wrong.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh well, I don't actually have to carry this because I'm aware of it now, because I accept it, that it's like, oh, I felt this in that moment, I totally accept it, and now it's like I don't actually have to live that story anymore.
Yeah.
My intention with the post was to encourage, to build community, to have people engage with the post, and to make them feel like they do have a choice.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of people don't. And so that was my intention for the post. So after I kind of analyzed that, quite simply spoken,
Yeah.
I felt the feelings, I let them go, and I'm now able to move on, you know?
Yeah, I know.
So that's how you can apply it to your daily life. That's how it is. But I think where people get stuck is they judge themselves. So it's like, I could have easily said, oh no, I need to change my wording, I'm like this person, like I did something wrong, I'm a bad person, I need to, I don't know, delete my post or something like that. And then it's like my initial intention flips, because now I believe that, oh, I've done something wrong, and then I just create more and more pain for myself.
Yeah, basically that's it. That's, in a nutshell, that is exactly what's happening. And that comes, Ava, because we haven't been told, really. Like when we,
no, we're told like, oh, that's wrong, your feelings are wrong,
exactly,
or get over it,
or that's just your mind playing with you, that's just your brain, that feeling is wrong. So it doesn't, it might be the truth that the feeling might be wrong. It's not, we're not
in
perfect.
wrong as in bad, it's just that it feels
maybe
you know, it doesn't feel great.
Yeah, maybe outside the your path, life path, which is not wrong or good. It's just a different pathway that maybe is not suitable for you. But in the same way, we are not being taught how to kind of study those feelings, kind of be more conscious of whether it is beneficial or it's just a thought that's coming and going, or we are not being taught how to manage our thoughts. Really, we have just been taught, oh, that's your thought, as if that was a bad thing. Oh, that's your thought, or a simple thing to ignore. And that's the key, that's the thing here. Your thoughts are not meant to be ignored. Your thoughts are telling you a message that might guide you to your next level, to whatever you need for the next stage in your life. So your thoughts are there for a reason. And
then that's why the body, I want to add to that, is like the body and the feelings are then, if you don't hear the thought, your next signal is the body. Your next signal is your feelings. And I was like listening to Dolores Cannon the other day, and she was talking about healing and about how the pains in our bodies are signals to show you what is the thought that you've been living and breathing for the last, I don't know, 10 years. And like, if you have a lot of back pain, it means you feel like you have a heavy burden on yourself because you've been telling yourself maybe over and over again that I'm not good enough, for example. And so you just feel it in your shoulders. So like, pains in the bodies are also signals, just like, because you've ignored the thoughts so much, that has to be amplified in your body.
Exactly. And it's all about mindset, and all about being aware of your true power, of the true functioning of your thought. What's the reason why your thoughts are there? And as well, to be aware that we all have a choice. We could choose. We could
my favorite motto right now. It's like my favorite sentence. That's why I was like, when I wrote it, we always have a choice, and someone had like you know, their opinion on it. I was very like disheartened, because I'm like, this is like my motto. I live by this. but it's okay. It's okay to have, people have their own, they have their own reality, and that's okay for them,
Yeah, definitely. But then I don't see myself saying any other thing when we talk about shifting frequencies, about feeling sad, and how to change our awareness or how to change our lives without saying, like, man, we haven't been taught that, but I'm telling you, and this is 100% true, we have a choice. Like, we truly have a choice. Like, we do, and we haven't been told that. Like, let me repeat it again because I want this to be really reassurance. Whatever come through your mind could be either targeted or created by a circumstance that you might not like that much or that you might be excited about. However, either happiness or sadness, either fear or love, we have a choice to choose whether we want to continue with that thought and spread it all around our bodies, or whether we wanted to stop that thought, feeling, that frequency that is oscillating in our mind. We have a choice to stop it or to embrace it. We are not the victims. We are the protagonists of this life. Every chapter in our lives is determined by whatever you want to write on your book. Write down on your book is you who have the pencil to write down what you want, the outcome of your life. And that's why we are here. We're going to be sharing with you some techniques and some meditation as to how to shift from one feeling to another. And it's up to you whether you like to use it or just leave it on the background for the day when you need it. But it is
it's just like
important.
when you were talking, I was just like thinking about this, because we always say you always have a choice, and then someone might say, oh, but someone else has some kind of, things where they don't have choices. But I feel like it's either something, it's hard to say, because I'm like, why do we're trying to help you, so you're the listener, so we feel like we're targeting you, but then I think the an audience member might feel, yeah, but other people on the planet don't have a choice. It's like weird that people have to always bring it to like other people when we're trying to empower the individual.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how people always like, I wonder what it's this kind of I need to defend other people mentality.
Yeah.
It just came to my mind. That's why I want to talk about it just briefly.
Yeah.
But it's like what we're encouraging here is everyone's, let's say, hero, or everyone's, in the driver's seat, and everyone has, this unique life path, this unique life that they came here and they chose. Because me and Zoila believe that we chose the life that we wanted as a soul. Like, we had this contract and we decided to be here for a purpose, and that's what this is all about, to find out that. So what I'm saying is, like, a lot of people, like, they feel like they need to defend other people, but we're already all whole and complete, so technically we don't need to defend anyone, because everyone's already like their beautiful self. So I think what it comes from is their own context. So it's something that they need to explore in themselves. Why does it trigger me? Why do I need to defend people? Is it because I feel like I'm not protected? Like, that could so be legit, that if a person feels like, oh, I'm not good enough, but at least I can protect other people and make them feel good. But then it's like, but if you felt good, you might then, when you feel good, whole and complete, like, everyone else is whole and complete. You don't need to like save anyone. Obviously you can share your knowledge. You can this is the expression where you want to help other people, but not because you feel like they're a victim. It's because you want to grow, you want to bring happiness into the world, but you don't feel like, oh, this person is bad because they need to heal themselves or
Right.
because they need to fix themselves. You're
Right.
doing it because of love, out of love, and it's
Yeah.
not because you need to defend people because they're weak.
Mm-hmm.
All of us, we're unique. We're already whole and complete. But obviously, there's growth. We can always go higher. But that doesn't mean that right now, in this moment, we are like bad and we're like completely broken and that we need to fix ourselves. And yeah, people say that's why people, when they're in low vibe, they say, I'm broken or I'm messed up because they feel that and because they keep reassuring it,
Mm-hmm.
they're like, oh, I need to heal myself because I'm broken. So they're already like, that's why they're in low vibe, because they associate and define with I'm broken. But I think what we're talking from the heart. We're talking about, we don't think other people, even if they may, someone does not have a leg, for example, we still believe that they're already whole and complete, that they are strong, they are, they're a beautiful being, and they've got other ways to express themselves. So there's this defender mentality or this hero mentality, victim mode. And I don't believe anyone here is a victim.
Yeah.
And I know that might be triggering for other people because yes, people are being, abused and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
they are not, like, they are whole and complete. They are human beings, and I don't believe they are victims. They're just being treated that way because, or things are happening like them,
Yeah.
that because
Yeah.
people are not accepting themselves.
Yeah, basically that's all what we have, really. Like, we are not, as you said, we are not a victim. We are not the victim. Instead, we are the protagonist of our own life. We are at this very moment writing a book of what it is to be me, and you are writing a book of what it is to be yourself. It, obviously we can avoid having like these bad situations, but then if we turn it around, these bad situations, if you manage them in a precise way where you see it as a learning curve, as an opportunity to learn, to endure, to make your life a bit more significant so that you can help others, then having bad experiences at some point is not that bad. It's just the way how you see things. And that is where I come back to the same point. We are not victims. Like, somebody else don't come and tell me like, I don't like you, or you don't look that well. It's not because of you. It's because that person is going through some certain things in their life, and they are unable to accept somebody else's because they are different from what their perspective supposed to be. But really,
Yeah,
we
and I
are
think
not
most of it is because
victims.
they can't accept a part of themselves. So because, like, if they feel like, I don't know, they're not worthy of money, for
Yeah,
example, then they will
basically,
find other
basically.
people who are unworthy of money and try to fix them or something because they're trying to fix themselves.
Yeah, basically, that's all about it. And unfortunately, we have to,
Mm.
well, fortunately, we are telling
Yeah.
you what to do now. But unfortunately, we haven't told that before. We are not victims, really. We are not, like, whatever happens in our lives goes on hand on whatever you want it to happen, first of all. And whatever happens that you don't want it, you have the capacity and the ability to choose what you're gonna do with that thought, what you're gonna do with that situation, what you are entitled to do. Or are you aware that you have the choice? Because if you don't, I'm telling you, we are telling you now that you have the choice of shifting your frequencies, lower frequencies to higher frequencies. Being said that, I just wanted to mention that the higher frequencies are, we have on the very top, we have unconditional love,
Mm.
we have
Yeah.
peace, we have
Mm.
gratefulness, appreciation, enthusiasm, excitement, passion, optimism, positive beliefs. We have hopefulness, acceptance, and we have as well willingness. Within
Yeah.
those feelings, you could abound, find synonyms or synonyms, and find other words that might describe a higher vibration, a higher understanding or a higher frequency of feelings. And those are the higher frequencies that we want to achieve within the meditation that we're gonna do next.
Yeah,
Eva, do you wanna say
let's
something?
do that. I think because you Instagram has a limit of 1 hour for the live, so we've got about 13 minutes, so it'll have to be a quick one.
Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do is just find a comfortable place. And let's start our meditation. Just understand that we have the power of choice. Doesn't matter how you feel now. It doesn't matter how you feel now. You always have a choice. And you will always have a choice because we are free beings. So in that sense, let's find a comfortable position with our back straight. If you want to ground yourself or earth yourself, putting your feet on the floor, that's fine. If you want to lean or whatever position, but it has to be comfortable for you. And I'm going to ask you now to close your eyes. And at the same time, breathe deeply. And this time we're going to breathe deeply. We're going to hold it for 4 seconds and then we're going to exhale. Breathe deeply now. And exhale. We're going to do this 3 more times. Breathe deeply now. Exhale. One more time. Exhale. The last time, breathe deeply now. Exhale. Now I want you to imagine that we are in this very moment receiving this goldenish, silverish light every time we breathe through our nose. And when we exhale, we are exhaling the bad feeling or what makes us sad away or out of our body. Breathe deeply now again. There is a shiny light that's all around our body. And exhale the bad feeling. Now repeat after me. I have a choice. I have a choice. I have the power to choose. I have the power to choose. My thoughts are aligned with my heart. My thoughts are aligned with my heart. And I allow my thought to change my reality. I allowed my thought to change my reality on demand. I have the power to choose. And I'm choosing the right thing for my life path. I choose to feel love. I choose to feel peace. I choose to be happy. I choose to be content. I choose to be at peace. I choose to be on balance. Despite my situation, I choose the right feeling. Despite what I'm going through, I choose the right feeling. Now I want you to gently place your hands around your heart and feel your heart beat while you breathe deeply. And repeat after me. This is who I am.
This is who I am.
This is who I am. This is who I am. Now breathe deeply one more time. As we come back to our body, feel this reality, and we are grateful because we have achieved our reality. Breathe deeply, and when you're ready, please open your eyes. This is the meditation for the day of today. Hopefully this has changed or helped you all around the world, or whoever is watching this live.
My favorite part was when we put our hands on our chest and we say, "This is who I am." Like the third time I said it, I really meant it, and I'm like, oh.
Like feeling reality, like feeling, I mean, your heartbeat is just this tool that tells you who you are really. Like it's all about
It's
your
just that whole, like, it's just the whole acknowledgement, like, because I think what happens is a lot of people, as I say, they kind of reject what they're feeling by either blaming themselves or denying it. But when you actually like acknowledge yourself, it brings up this unconditional love that is, we might not be feeling it every day, but when we do, it's really special.
It is really special, and the beauty of it is that we are all capable of feeling unconditional love. You know, when I started feeling unconditional love, I was a bit mental because all this love was like, how am I gonna feel this? What is this? What am I doing? And it is simply when I started calling people sisters and brothers because I was feeling more than a friend. And this is the point where we all have to achieve in order to grow spiritually. Well, at least that's in my point of view how I felt, and it just helped me a lot in terms of growing spiritually because it showed me that all what I was calling it was a bad situation previously helped me to move on to the next level and expand my awareness in terms of a spiritual being. And I'm just so grateful for everything that I've been through because through those situations, actually, I kind of transform my awareness into a more spiritual one. And unconditional love is the highest and the most significant frequency that we all should achieve. We all should aim to achieve, because through love, love is a key for it, first of all. And through love, we are gonna understand everyone, and we're gonna accept everyone
Yeah.
as a person, and that's all we
Like
need to
literally
do.
what you just said, I was thinking about it when, like, just before you said that point, I was like looking up and thinking about it. It's like actually when we do feel unconditional love,
Yeah,
it's suddenly we feel so much love that
yeah,
everything becomes love. It's
yeah,
like we, we're just like so nice to everyone
yeah,
because we
definitely.
are unconditional love. It's like
Yeah,
everything is becomes love.
yeah, and that's it. That's all about this life, is about love. And unconditional means not
Mm,
putting conditions to love somebody. Like, they may have different choices than I do, but that's not an objection to love that person as an equal. And in the same Yeshua in the Bible, and the same Buddha in their teachings, they and the other spiritual people, they just said, like, the key is love. You should
mm,
accept the other as if he were you. And
yeah.
to in order to do that, you have to be able to love, because otherwise you won't be able to accept somebody else's if you don't love the person. So love is the key here. So yeah.
Yes.
So our conclusion for today, my lovely Ava.
Yeah. So in conclusion, we are vibrational beings. We are always emitting energy, and frequencies
Yeah.
are always measurable. But the whole point is that we are capable of working through this energy by choosing thoughts that we choose for our benefit.
Yeah.
But we are already manifesting, and we are already creating energy and vibrations and frequencies 24/7. But usually it's our subconscious mind that is taking over. So we encourage you, from today's live session, to take on board and go into life where you are more aware of your feelings and where they're coming from, so
Yeah.
that you can have the choice then to choose a different thought, because we always have the choice. So yeah, go into this week being aware. Don't judge yourself. Just become conscious, because when you become conscious, your choices are then conscious.
Yeah.
Because if you're in autopilot mode, you can't really change anything in your life if it's all in your subconscious, if you're just going about your day and being like, oh, this is normal. But you have a choice every day to question that normal and create your new normal. So there's nothing really that is normal. It's just life is an expression of your inner being, your inner thoughts.
We are abnormal.
Abnormal.
So in those same lines, I just appreciate your presence here. I appreciate if you're watching this video on our IG or Instagram or our YouTube channel or on our Facebook channel, or even if you are watching it through our other media. Thank you very much for being with us here. Please go to our website and
Our website is live.
Our website is live. Whoop, 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 whoop. And it's the same thing, Guided 888. Please go to Google it. Maybe you'll be able to find it quicker. But otherwise, go on our Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, and there you're gonna find the link to our website. But you can Google it as Guided 888. I have a fly here. Hello, fly. So that's it for today, and come with us next Saturday, where we are gonna discuss a bit more or in depth about how mind coherence, and as well we're gonna be discussing or sharing with you some techniques for meditation to help you shift your reality. This is Guided 888. Eva and Zoila with you.
Yes.
That's it for now. Bye bye. And live. And yay, bye.